Right, so let's begin. So we have the outcomes, which are review different classroom situations with teacher talk when it's necessary. We'll explore the most effective ways to use teacher language in different classroom situations. And we will have reviewed and applied rules for giving instructions in class. Okay, so let's look and see. So first of all, who should speak the most in a classroom? The teacher or the students? And why?
Yes, can I talk about
Yes, Ibrahim, go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, in old methods and approaches of language teaching, they used to give a big amount of speech to the teacher. Okay, what we call teacher-centered class in the past. But later on, nowadays, the matter is totally different. They encourage the teachers the amount of talk has to be less. Okay, that is why we call the student-centered class. The big opportunity is given for students to talk in the class more than the teacher himself.
Okay.
Why? Because for the purpose of interaction and for the purpose of make the teaching process more efficient.
Mm. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Anybody else want to add to that? Or
Yes, yes, I agree with
yes,
my colleague,
yes.
Mr. Ibrahim. Yes, in the old ways of teaching, the teacher get more time to speak during the class. That because the teacher is the only source of giving to give information.
Mm.
Yes, but now we have internet, we have many different resources to get information or knowledge in different ways, in different issues, in different activities. So the students can get maybe the students will plan more than the teacher himself sometimes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. Do you
So
think
the
that?
time,
Yeah.
yes, the student time of teaching, I think it must be more than the time of the teacher.
Why do
Yes,
you think
because
it's, yeah.
yes, the language is for the student, not for the teacher. Yes, the students should use the language,
Okay.
but
Good.
yes, practice the
And,
language.
Mhm.
Yes,
and also, yes, the supervisors always advise us to relieve our larynx. Try to relieve your larynx in the classroom. You have to lessen the amount of speech. Give
Mm.
students more time to
Mm.
speak. But here, I agree with them. This is a modern way of teaching. Yes, but sometimes the teacher needs to talk a little bit or to talk much sometimes because students will absorb or what we call how are students going to what we call receive information unless the teacher talks,
Mm.
you know, like the baby listens, okay, then talks. That is why at the beginning of stage of the basic stage, teachers need to talk, but later on secondary intermediate or secondary stages, here the teacher has to listen his speech.
Exactly. We have to, I think we're developing as a human race. We understand that we should stop underestimating what our students can do and what they can understand and give them the floor so that they can speak and they can try to understand from what we give them with less explanation, right? And I think the less we tell them, the easier it is for them to understand. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's see what Asma says. So she says, because
Hello.
students, yes, Bakir, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to participate in this
Yes,
case.
go ahead.
I think the teacher should decrease teacher talking time
Mhm.
and increase learners talking time. Uh, in this case, we are going to motivate our learners and give them the chance to participate with each other and have a confidence, self-confidence in themselves to participate and giving more sentences, even if it was not correct or they have a mistakes. I think the teacher should go beyond his learners' mistakes to give them confidence in themselves and to participate more. It's also, I think it depends on the activities that the teacher is going to give them. If the teacher give them learners-based activities, that activities based on the learners, I think it's better for learners to participate and increasing learners' talking time.
Yes, exactly. So the more they participate, the more confidence they will feel, and the more they will produce things well.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yes, the more
that's
practice they
thank,
get.
thank you.
Good. Okay, Asma says something similar. She says, because students should learn by themselves with a little help from the students, it's language acquisition. Yes. And give them time to learn by their own to figure out exactly what we've been talking about is the same. So thank you, Asma, as well. So yes, it's important for them to be thinking and keeping themselves on their toes. If they're just sitting there and listening to us, it's passive learning and they won't even listen, I don't think. Did you find it easy? Do you find it easy to listen to somebody if they're talking to you for a long time?
It's not easy,
No.
really. It's not easy. And it depends on the teacher whether his accent is clear or not. For example, your accent is very good and it's clear. You speak pure English. But what about if the moderator is an American? We are going to get lost. Really?
Yes, it
Yeah.
depends where they come from, if it's from New York or Texas or California, because the accents can vary a lot in that country, but it's grading our English as well. So it's like how we speak and what we say. So it's grading our English depending on the level of our learners as well. But yeah, it's and how you produce it, your intonation, your expression in your face. But it's so difficult if you listen to somebody for a long time, your mind begins to go to a different place, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Even,
let's
even that, sorry, even the translator, the interpreter, what we call let me remember it, simultaneous,
yes.
simultaneous
Mm.
translator. He can't translate for, I think, for half an hour. Then he stops.
Yes, it's very, very stressful, that job. Yes.
He can't speak.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, so imagine being a student listening to an English teacher who is 13 or 14 years old. If you're speaking to them for too long, you can forget about them, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So if we can get them speaking, if we can, the important thing is to encourage them to speak. So they might just sit there and not want to say anything to you. So you have to think about ways of making it more learner-centered, right? And we're seeing these things continually in the modules, which will help us to do this. Okay, so look at this. It says, look at the situations when teachers talk in class. So I'll let you read them first for a minute, and then I'm going to perform as a teacher, and you can tell me which one I am doing. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so 80% of you are on the right page in the book and have started the activity. Well done.
Praising.
Yes. Why did I say 80%?
To encourage us to yeah to have to be self confident.
Yeah, and I could
Be
say 80%, 85. So the ones who have left, like that 15%, they're rushing to see, they're looking at their partner to see what page it's on. Instead of saying to them, you could say 15% of you don't have the book open on the right page. They're all looking to see who is wrong. But if you change it around and refocus, it's better. It's better to praise more than criticize
Yes.
because they want to get that praise too. Okay.
Yes.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Remember your number. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember your number. Now,
Giving instructions.
yes. Okay, all the ones here, all the twos here, all the threes here. Giving instructions. Anything else?
Disciplining. Be
A little
careful,
bit,
not
because
be
they
quiet, please.
sometimes they forget their number. Which number am I? And it's too late. People are moving around and it gets crazy. So it's like, remember your number, because if not, okay.
Checking learners understanding. Mhm.
Okay. I will go there tomorrow. I will. I will go there tomorrow.
Explaining.
Yes.
It's modeling or being a model for
Being a
speaking.
mother for
Eliciting.
Yes, it's eliciting. I want them to say to me, I'll. Very few of them use contractions when they're speaking. Am I right? So it's getting them to, even when they're reading it and they're reading a contraction, they will say, I will. Have you noticed that? Or he will. They don't like using contractions. You just do this. What's this? And you have to think about, they come together. I'll. So it's like it's maybe modeling, eliciting. Okay, good. To do, repeat. To do. Want to do. Repeat.
Being a model.
Yes. What you want to do. And they repeat. So I'm being a model. I'm using some schwa, connected speech, because they would hear what you want to do. And they would think that's impossible to say. But if you back chain it, you're modeling and they're repeating with you. Okay. Good. Right. So I'm not going to do any more. I want you to look at these, choose maybe one or two that you like, that you have a good way of speaking to them in the class, or giving instructions, eliciting, thinking about things that you do, share with each other. I'm going to put you into the breakout rooms now and tell each other about anything, like little things that you do in the class that's so typical of only you, or something that you have learned from a different teacher and you copy. Okay? So think about that. Maybe you saw something in the module, you've done the module, you really liked it, and you want to talk about that with your colleagues in the breakout room. Okay? So sometimes there are some really nice things in the videos that the modules have that you think, oh, I must use that in my class, and then you forget about it. So now's your chance to try to talk about it, because if you talk about it with them, it's like it's still present in your head. And maybe next week you could, like tomorrow or Tuesday or Monday, you could use it in your classroom, and then it becomes a reality, because it's so easy to see something from a training course and think, oh, yes, I'm going to use that. And then it doesn't happen, right? It happens to me a lot. I don't know about you, but definitely with me. I think we've all had that experience. So I'd like you to do that now. I'd like you to go into the breakout rooms in a second. I've put it in the group WhatsApp for you, and it's also in the chat here. If you want to take a photo, please do. I'm just going to show it to you again now. Take a photo if you want, or if you want to write it down. Write down maybe 2 or 3 that you can think of about ways that you give instructions, elicit, praise, discipline them, and then you can tell us, okay? Don't forget that teacher language doesn't have to be about verbally speaking. It could be your body language. Do you use your hands? Do you use your face? Do your eyebrows go up and down with them? Do they know what this means? So think about things that you would do naturally, and the students react to that, okay? So I would love for you to really share with each other in the breakout room. So I'm going to put you into maybe 4 groups, and you can try to tell each other something special, a little magic that you have in your class that you do with your students. It could be anything at all, from when they come into the class, what you say to them, things that you say for a warmer, things that you do as a surprise, or how you finish the lesson. Think about what you do in your classroom, okay? Okay, I'm just going to put you into maybe some of you are very quiet, maybe for different reasons, but if I put you into 3 rooms, hopefully we'll have people talking in those rooms, okay? So there'll be about 4 of you in each room, okay? So try to get in. If you can't, you can stay here. If your internet is really bad, just stay here and you can talk to me or you can write something in the chat, okay? So go. Hi, Dania. Can you get into a room or do you want to talk to me? If you're busy or you can't open your microphone, try to write something in the chat for me, okay? Hi, Dana.
Hi, how are you?
Did they speak in their group with you?
Actually, I sent messages because they kept talking, so I didn't want to
You
interrupt them.
you couldn't
So I
interrupt, you're too polite. Okay.
okay. So I always use ICQs in my classroom and
Yes,
eliciting, just to make sure that they understand what they are going to do.
yes. That's
Yeah.
important because especially for your big groups, because you're teaching really, really big groups. So there's
Yes,
always
about
somebody who is
40,
lost, right?
yeah, about 40 students in my classroom. So actually, in the reading exercises, I always um, check
Ramjas?
if they will read quickly or read for details, and I give them a limit time before they begin.
Hello? Sorry?
Yes. Hi. Just Dana was just talking because she said that in her group she didn't really have a chance to talk, but she's just talking about the ICQ, I'll get this. I said, yes, your instructions giving questions or yes, exactly. Because yeah, that's the big issue with you. You need to have really good instructions checking questions and concept checking questions because of your big groups you're teaching.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. And okay, so if you want to repeat what you were saying after that, because people are coming back in again. So what else would you say that would be beneficial to us?
Eliciting, actually, um, I always encourage my colleagues to use eliciting, not giving the information just like that. I
Mhm.
want the information to be given from the students. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
you
Is
know,
what is the famous expression by Abraham Lincoln about that, about learning? Who can tell me the quote?
oh,
It's a good one.
I don't know.
Anybody know that one? I'll find it for you. So I always forget the quote, but I think it's very good. It's about if you can do something yourself, you learn better than being told. I'm just going to find it and then I'll share it with you in the chat now. 1 second. He has lots of very famous quotes about things that he said about education.
I think we have a quote here. Maybe I don't know if it's
Teach
the
me
correct.
and
Teach me how to catch a fish, not giving me a fish. Something
the
like.
quote is this. It says, I'll read it to you now. I'll find it quickly now, 1 second, because I always forget the exact quote. It's something about teach me or show me. Do you know this one? Who can tell me this one? I'm eliciting, aren't I?
Yeah.
Let me see. I'll find it now. Where is it? I'm just looking in the internet. Maybe it's here. Oh, it's a famous one and it's not coming up. Normally it comes up immediately when I put it in. If anybody gets to it before I do, you can tell us what it is. If I don't find it by the end of the session, I will send it to you in the forum. But it's about the idea of if you teach me and I learn, show me and I understand. And that's something like that. And it's a nice one because it reflects the idea of the more you involve the student, the stronger the information will stay in their heads. Oh, Ibrahima, 1 second. What are you saying here? I remain alone in the room and I do a monologue, so nobody was speaking to you. That's terrible. Maybe they're just too busy or they just couldn't open the microphones for some reason. Okay. Who else wants to contribute? So, um, anybody else? Irene, Abir, can you say something about what you were talking about? Any tips for us? We got some tips from one of you. Anybody else want to speak about things that you say or do to help your students learn better without speaking too much? It could be to do with instructions or eliciting or discipline or routines, anything at all. Oh, you're quiet today. Everybody's very quiet. Okay.
And also,
Go
I
ahead,
remain,
Ibrahim.
yes, and I remain unmute also. Okay,
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
yeah. Today I am your foe. Yes, but with respect to the 10 points mentioned I talk to myself, Mr. Ibrahim and Mr. Ibrahim 1. Yes. Hello, Mr. Ibrahim. Hello, Mr. Ibrahim 1. I think the session is recorded. Okay.
Yes.
Variety of techniques here by giving instructions. For example, teacher, when they come to the class, they always give the instructions. For example, we are going to talk about this, about this module, about this that unit, etc.
Yes.
And also, we are giving a praise once the student answers the. We have to praise him. For example, well done, excellent, good job, etc. Disciplining, sometimes when there is a little bit chaos in the class, you have to warn them that don't move too much, sit down, you have to have your pencil with you. And also joking, I avoid, sometimes I joke, but I avoid joking in the class because I get angry. You know that joking is not good in the class,
Yeah.
especially with kids. Yeah, for young students, the matter is different. And
Exactly.
asking questions, yes, asking questions all the time. We ask questions. The teacher, it is a must for a teacher to ask the questions all the time, from
Yes.
the beginning until the end of the class.
Exactly.
And
Because if
about,
yes.
yes, explaining and also is there. Explanation is all the time. But explaining, for example, the rule and asking students to respond to you,
Mhm.
yes, to give more examples, to give them more time to speak. Yes.
Yes, or getting them to observe something. So you write something on the board and say, "What's wrong with this?" Getting them
Mm.
thinking all the time, because if you give the information to them, it's just there in the air. We don't know if
Yes.
it's going into their heads, but if they have to think about something and give you an answer, of course, that's more powerful. It's actually putting something really into their heads and making them mix it around, think about it, and tell you something. So that's more important as well.
Yes.
Exactly. Joking is for other moments, maybe in the course. Okay, so good. Let's go back now to the slides. And as Ibrahim said, he hardly ever jokes in the class, so that's fine. If you're good at making a joke to project something important for them to think about, yes. But if it's like a random joke, it may not encourage them to take things seriously and to focus on what they're doing in the class. So of course, it just depends how you use the joke, of course. Let's just go back now to here. And think about which ones do you use the least, and maybe you would like to use more of. Just look at these from 1 to 10, and you can write a number in the chat about which ones you use less of. And you can also say that you want to try to use this more, or you've seen something in the module that you thought, yes, maybe I need to do more of this. Just look and see what you think. You think you do very little of, and maybe you should think about doing it more in your lessons. Just write in the chat the numbers. Okay. You're putting in 10, some of you, 2 asking questions, 3 giving praise. Okay. 2 the most. So do you elicit? Because if you elicit, you get them to think about something and reply. Don't forget you're asking questions as well.
والله Miss Andy يعني nearly to speak and openly to speak, we use all of them nearly except number 10.
Yeah.
But we use يعني during our lesson, for example, we have 5 classes per a week. We usually use all of them by
Yes.
giving, explaining. We can't focus on a certain point and disregard another.
Yes.
So we usually use all of them.
Because sometimes we can get into a habit of doing the same thing. We keep to the same routine. And sometimes it's good to break or approach with a different strategy because you elicit less or you don't elicit for giving instructions. So think about how you can maybe change things a little bit if you think it's going to help your class, because sometimes we just fail to think about what could work better with some groups and not with others. So I think if we keep to the same routine and performance, if you want to call it, in our classrooms with all the groups, it doesn't work with all of them. Sometimes the groups can change. Also, depending on the time of the day, if it's the morning or the afternoon, some ways of speaking to them will work with some classes and not with others. Have you discovered that? What do
Yes,
you think?
of course, naturally, if we stick ourselves to one point, this will be redundant or
Yeah.
redundancy.
Yes.
And yes, all the time we repeat, for example, giving praise all the time. We can't. Explaining all the time will be dull. Students will get dull. Also, what about giving feedback? So variety of these steps.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes.
Also, sometimes we forget to do something. Like I had this bad habit of forgetting to give my students time to think before they spoke. So even total silence, where neither the teacher nor the student is speaking, can be a positive thing if you can get them to think and then you get them to speak about something. So even nothing said at all can be a good thing as well.
Please, hello.
Yes, go ahead, Bucket.
Yeah, I want to talk with the teacher Ibrahim about the last one, the last point,
Yes.
joking and chatting. I think, yes, I agree with him. We avoid joking in the classroom because we don't make a lesson chaos, especially with adult learners. But I think sometimes we feel we need to go out of the strictness and the seriousness of the lesson by making or adding fun atmosphere in the classroom. Yeah, I agree with him. The disciplining is very important point, and giving instructions is important point because we need a good result at the end of lesson. But
Exactly.
sometimes I think sometimes we need to make or try to remember learners of some joking situations, something like that, just to add fun to the learners.
Exactly. Yeah, just
Yeah,
So,
like
so
lighten it up, lighten the lesson up a
yeah,
little bit.
lightening them up,
You can be
motivating them.
talking about something that they have in common, something funny, but make sure that everybody is in the joke. So it's not just shared by some of you, so everybody understands and can laugh about
Yeah,
it.
because all lessons is the same routine from the morning to the afternoon, the same routine, all lessons. I think learners need to change. Sometimes need to change the environment of lesson.
Exactly.
and also with respect to joking, it depends on the nature of the class. You have some classes, they are, for example, they are cats, meow, they are silent. But when
Yeah,
you come,
but
but when you come to classes, you will find you have cows and you have what we
Oh my
call
God.
of course,
yeah,
but
something is different totally. So it depends on the nature of the class. You can
Yes,
joke with
it's
in class
picking up
and
on what you see around you, and what you can do with them. Exactly. Understanding your
yes.
students. Yes.
Another
especially
point, I think
this
also
teacher.
it depends on the teacher himself. Just
Mm.
for new teachers, I think it's difficult to joke during the class.
Yes.
For a, yeah,
Oh, yes, yes,
but
especially at the beginning of the year.
yeah, but for a professional teacher like Mr. Ibrahim and all our colleagues here, I think it's easy for them to joke during the class.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
we are getting old, they sympathize with us.
Yes. You understand them, and they know that you're not going to let them get away with anything because they can see that you're an experienced teacher. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's look at this. In which situation do you use Arabic or English? So in which situations would you use Arabic, for example? Would you use Arabic in your class when you're teaching?
For example, sometimes we use them if we want if we teach them what we called abstract abstract words.
Mm-hmm.
For example, yeah, we use Arabic. Honor, for example, you can't explain to them honor, honor. How can you are going to explain? Then you say honor al-sharaf, for example, al-sharaf in Arabic. And you have to learn Arabic
I
today.
know. Yes, I have to learn Arabic myself.
Sharaf, yeah, al-sharaf means honor.
Mm.
Or honesty, amana, amana. You can
Mm.
repeat it. Amana,
Amana.
honesty. Amana, yes,
Amana.
honesty. How are you going to teach students honesty, for example, amana, by translating them into Arabic?
Mm.
In general speaking, when you use abstract names
Yes.
now,
Yes,
abstract,
I,
exactly.
sorry,
I think it's
words.
the last
Ma
point of teaching. We can use Arabic as the last point of teaching. I think the first step, we can show them some pictures or short videos about the abstract ideas. Uh, if the students didn't or don't give the idea, so I will translate it into Arabic.
mm.
Yes.
Maybe
And some,
a key word in an instruction or a key word in a reading. You can just quickly tell them what the word is in their language because you want the activity flow to flow faster. Would you do that?
Sometimes
and of
I
course,
Yes.
yes,
so
and of course, we use Arabic when we get angry. You would like to behave something, you use Arabic
Yeah, you want to
because you
make
are angry in class.
it very clear why you're angry and what they have done wrong and
Yes.
exactly. Yes, I understand that. Yes. Bakir, you
Miss
wanted to say
Andy, but
something?
Andy, yeah, I want to talk. Sometimes we speak or we use Arabic if we want to connect grammar rules
Mm-hmm.
with Arabic language. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes we are disabled to reach the information that we are going to teach. So we try to connect it with their language. Yeah, in
Yes,
this case, for a while, not yeah, just for just for explaining the rule.
exactly. Or you're looking at error correction and you know why they made that mistake in English because they were thinking in Arabic. So things like that, right?
Yeah, that's
And you can say, I know why you said that, and then, but what do we do in English with that sentence? And you get them to think about the way sometimes translation can be good when you're thinking in English, and sometimes it can be wrong. Exactly. Okay, how do you modify your teacher talk in these situations? So, um, modify, it could be your intonation, it could be to do with how much you say. What do you think? If you're giving instructions, how do you modify your teacher talk?
High pitch
High
to some,
pitch?
to, yeah, to some extent
Yes,
because you
maybe
are.
the, the sentence stress, so you want them to hear specific words.
Uh,
Turn to page 43. So that's the idea, right? That kind of thing. Um, Anything else?
For example, if you witness a battle or a war in the class, sometimes you have to lower your speech and your voice. Okay, he is your brother. He's a friend. This is your friend, your brother. You have to deal with him smoothly, and you have to be
Mm.
sympathetic with him. You lower your voice according to the situation you have in
Mm.
the class.
Yes, or lower your voice a lot and you go to speak to somebody individually about a situation that's happening,
Yes.
maybe something negative, and you get
Yes.
very close to their face and say something that nobody else can hear, and the person's face is changing. And they're like saying, What did she say? What did she say? Oh,
Yes.
nothing, nothing, nothing. Like, I'll speak to you after class. Something like
Yes.
that. Or because when you say to them, I'll speak to you after class or I'll speak to you later, they're thinking about what they have done wrong, or maybe, if we're lucky, what they should say to you. So it gives them time to think about it and calm down.
As a sign of warning, يعني.
Yes, it's a warning, and it's like getting them thinking about what's happened, about their behavior. Also, to do with discipline, you can never say to a child, especially a teenager, you are. You
Yeah.
could say you are being, because
Mm.
if you say you are, you're labeling them as this permanently. But if you say you are being disruptive, you're being disobedient, you are being lazy today,
Behavior.
it takes away that feeling of you judging them for who they are. And it's helping them with their behavior, which is what you want to deal with. You're not saying you're a bad person. No, you are being bad today. So
You mean their conduct, Miss
yes,
Sandy?
Asma. Yes, Asma.
Their conduct. Your being is not making like the person itself, the conduct, the
Yes.
behavior one. Yeah.
Yes, we don't want them to think that we think they're horrible people, but maybe
Mm-hmm.
they're being a little bit horrible today because they're not paying attention or they're not listening to you, or they've
Yeah.
just hit the person beside them because they're angry. So it's, that's really, really important psychologically for our kids in the classroom. Okay, so let's look at something else now. So instructions. So how are you at giving instructions? So look at the muddled instructions. They're mixed up and crazy instructions. How can you improve them? So the question here makes sense, but would the student understand this? Look at it. Okay. So what would you say? What would be a better version of this for your students to understand? What do you think?
Now, actually, I would really like you if you could now stand up as everyone, please. This is polite. It's a polite, yeah.
But will they understand it? You have 40 students in your class. Would they understand what you're saying to them? This long
Mm,
sentence.
I would really, yes. Stand up,
Maybe we can
stand.
say that everyone, please, can you stand
Yeah,
up?
Yes.
welcome.
Would you do
And
this?
yeah,
Yes.
or making the hands up, or as
Exactly.
if I go to a class like second grade, I say like SITDON, sit down, and really they sit down.
Okay. And also for primary classes, what do we normally do with
Yeah.
them for giving instructions? It's a game you can play with them.
Uh-huh.
What
I
is
make
it?
the I make the action verbs actually for warming up for 5 minutes.
Yes.
Like you can jump, 1, 2, 3, hop, one,
Yes.
two, three, and bend your knees as an action verbs, And
Lovely.
then I say, please sit down. Class, they say yes, and they say SITDOWN, sit down, and they sit down.
Great. So they're learning the letters, they're learning how to spell as well at the same time. That's really good.
Spelling of the words.
And also, I imagine you probably also use Simon.
Simon says yes.
Yes. Simon says they love it, don't they?
Yeah.
So that
But
helps them. It
but
gets
I'm
them.
going to make the potato, something you told us the last session about the hot potato.
Yes.
And I was to ask you about more about that.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like the back to the board. Basically, it's back to the board, right? And
Yeah.
you could have them in like lines waiting to come up and taking it in turns to have their back to the board. You put a word behind them, and the group has to help them think about what the word is without saying the word. And they get a
Nice.
point, and you just keep moving them in a line. And with the take it in turns to sit with their backs to the board, and you have pear. It's a fruit. It's green, but it's not an apple. And it's like that kind of idea. And they
Nice.
have to think about what they can say. So they're working on their fluency, and they're trying to think about language that they have to try to say it without saying it. And of course, if they say the word, they don't get the point. So they're like really trying not to say the word. And maybe you could even, the little ones, you can say, they can use their hands to try to explain with their hands what it is, because they are also understanding what the word says on the board,
Yeah,
They could be
nice way.
whispering to each other and saying it means this in Arabic kind of thing, So, and then they can see. But sometimes it's hard because the person with the back to the board doesn't know the word. But it's good fun. They will like it, I think.
I'm going to try it. Maybe it's gonna be fun for them, for the
Yeah.
primary classes, I say.
And think about your instructions. So again, here, this is about instructions giving. So how would you tell them? So you could get them to model it. So rather than giving them long instructions, you have to sit with your back and I'm going to do this and you're going to do, that's too long for them. You can say, okay, you two, sit with your back to the board and they can
Mhm.
be your model and you can put a word. Okay,
Right.
tell them what it is, but don't say the word, and they get the idea, you know? So that's,
Miming.
yes, miming and getting them to model, like give an example of the first. Okay, this isn't the game. We haven't started yet. This is just practice. Okay, let's start now. And then you can do it with them.
Thank you so much, Miss Andy.
You're welcome. You can maybe Google it as well and you can get some more ideas, but that's the basic rule behind it. I think it's in
Inshallah,
one of
that's
the, I
بإذن
think it's
الله.
in, yeah, I think it's in one of the modules, but it's a nice activity that's been used a lot. Okay, so now understanding teacher language, improving teaching language. So look at the instructions or teacher language, and we won't work in groups because some of the groups are a little bit quiet today, and Ibrahim was talking to himself, feeling a little bit crazy. So let's look at this together. You have these muddled instructions. Look at the first one. Let's look at the first one together. Read it on your own. I'll give you time. And think about your own version. If you like, you can type it into the chat about what you would say instead of this. Okay? Just the first one.
The first point here, it's the unit honor. It seems to me that the teacher has a flu here.
Okay, but don't say anything. Just write in the
Okay.
chat because then we can see and we'll look at different answers from different people.
Okay.
But yes, this person maybe is not very well or is confused or maybe is a bit nervous. Maybe they have an inspector from the Ministry of Education in the classroom with them. Okay, thank you, Asma. You've written the first one. Would you add anything else? Would you just say turn to page 35? So think about what else they need to do. Okay. Maher says open your book to page 35, 36. Go to the travel unit. Yes. You're giving instructions. Okay. Well, let's think about what instructions we want to give them. Yes, Asma says get straight to the point. Exactly. Read the introduction quickly. Okay, this is, yes, it's teacher-centered but it's only for the teacher because the students have no idea what the teacher's talking about, right? Also, the language, jot down. Unless they are familiar with that language that you use, they mightn't understand what jot down means, right?
That is why I say that he has a flu, because yeah, it's not clear.
No.
It's not.
Yes, and answer the questions at the top of the page. Okay, good. That's fine. So you got the idea, right? It's like keeping it simple. What do they have to do? You've got a big class of students. You want them all to understand. As we said at the beginning, I'm sure that at least 5 people, if not more, in your classes have no idea what's going on, right? So it's like keeping them on their toes, people at the back, the people who can get distracted easily because of maybe cognitive issues, that they know what's happening, okay? You can have the book in front of you and you can do, my books are a bit far from me, but you can like have the book there and say, and they can also see visually what you're talking about as well, okay? Now look at the next one. If you like, you can just speak. If you can open your microphone for the next one.
The next one here, it is not English, it is Arabic. Because, yeah, if I were to ask you for your opinion on smoking, what do you think you might say to me in your reply?
The language is maybe too advanced for them as well. If I were to, unless they understand conditional sentences. What could you put here? Smoking? Yes? No? What do you
Okay.
think? So using your body as well. Smoking, do you agree? Is it good or bad? So again, we're using our body language to do that, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about smoking, says Mahir. And look at the last one. Somebody has just answered a question. Nobody can hear them. What do you do? Would you use body language for this one? You could do this. Or you can say, can you, and I wouldn't say to the class, can you hear him? Because that would embarrass that person. Maybe he's very shy or she's very shy. You'd say,
But the language is better.
yeah, yeah. Can you repeat that? We didn't really hear. We'd love to hear you repeat that again to give them confidence, but not making them feel ridiculous by saying, could anybody hear that? No, no, no. So thinking about the learner to communicate things well to them and make them feel happy and confident. Okay, so that's the end of that for today. Lovely to see you all again. You're a bit quiet today, but don't worry. That's fine. And you'll get an email from me on Monday. Okay, as usual. And I will see you next Saturday at the same time. Anybody who has to move to different groups, just send me an email. If you can't come to the session, but maybe the one before, that's fine as well. Okay. All right. So lovely to see you again.